Hey, good evening. Good evening. Let's talk family. Wow. The accumulation of a 4-day weekend, and as you guys know, we do on Mondays. We do our review shows. Well, 3-day weekend, Dwayne. Thank you. We do our review shows on Mondays, and this is the end of us doing two shows in one night. So we're gonna do the finale of season 5 of The Shy first, and you know, all three of us are here this week, and we haven't been on screen together in quite a few times, so I expect us to be our normal selves, and we know everybody in the chat is going to be with us. I'm a little jacked up, so y'all forgive me.
He
But
frowning because
anyway,
the last review of the shot.
review with a shy, Dwayne.
I
The
love,
finale
I
is the
love it.
culmination of season 5. We're gonna do a review. We're gonna do our number, our rating for not only the the show, yesterday's show, it was Friday's show. If you saw it when it first dropped, we're gonna do the rating for the whole season as well. Keisha, what's going on?
Nothing. How are you guys?
Oh, that was real dry. We didn't do nothing to you.
I'm just trying to. I don't think I'm gonna come up with an adequate rating, but go
Well,
ahead.
Keisha, you had a very, very, very interesting couple weeks. I know you went on vacation. The family did its yearly trip, and I know you went out to the festivities on Friday.
Hmm. Yeah, old lady is tired.
All right, let's go. The
Start with the
wedding.
win.
The wedding. The wedding. I thought it was well overdue. I thought that the characters, Darnell and Jada, I thought it was really nice. I did not like Jada's makeup. I thought her makeup was terrible. She was looking kind of crazy. She's been looking crazy all year long, and Yolanda Cross is not an ugly dark skinned woman, and I'm really upset with her makeup during this wedding. I thought it was a really good show though. The wedding was really nice. Like Dwayne said something to me about the wedding, and I kind of agree with him. I let him. I'm not going to take his point, but I think that his point is very valid. The wedding was like melodramatic, though. It was well overdue. It could have happened in episode 7, and we would have understood it. But it happened in the season finale. The season finale for me, like her season finales, are never cliffhangers. They don't do cliffhangers no more. They kind of like do a bunch of stuff in episode 9, and then the season finale is always like an open end to the story. Other than that, I thought it was okay. I don't like the whole doodah thing, because I thought it was a waste of time. I mean, let doodah be doodah. You should never try to make him Curtis Cook. I mean, Otis Perry. You should never took him to be the mayor and run away and then come back after a few months this season. It was a waste. You just left him be who he was, which was Duda. Other than that, man, I thought the whole Tiff, Keisha, Emmett thing, another thing to me that was a waste of time. We always knew about how Emmett and Keisha felt about each other, and it's a couple characters in the show. Like they have no roles no more, in my opinion. Like, what are you gonna do with Tracy going forward? What are you gonna do with Tiff going forward? I mean, outside of Rob, unless you're gonna expand Rob's role, being Q's nephew, which I thought was interesting, him being Q and Sonny's nephew, but him not knowing who Emmett is with that restaurant. I thought that was kind of strange, even though he don't mess with his family. So I thought that was kind of weak that they didn't go into Rob enough. So next season, if they go into Rob, then you could show Tiff more. But I really don't see a purpose for Tiff no more, um, unless it's this dynamic with Tiff, Emmett, and Keisha. And I think that's getting old because it's basically been doing it for 3 seasons. I have some comments I need to throw up here. Dwayne, take it away, sir.
Well, ladies first, because I got a lot to say.
Uh, Everything about Jada, from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet, has been tragic this season. That hair, the white booties at the wedding. Um, I didn't like any of it. I did like the wedding. I thought that was realistic. That's how things happen in real time, especially when you're a little older. Like if that's the person, then let's go ahead and do this. Kevin's mothers are tragic as well. I thought, what's her name? I thought she was like the best man in this. Not Nina, Dre.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even listening to Kevin. Knowing the kind of kid that Kevin is, that video game thing sounds realistic to me as a mother with a child in that age group. They can make a lot of money with video games, designing, playing them. There's all types of tournaments and stuff. They go all over the world. So for her to just automatically assume drugs and then not listen to him, that bothered me. Kevin not going to Keisha at any point through what he was going through with his parents. It's so unrealistic. He would have gave that money to Keisha, not to that girl. It's like they don't even have a relationship anymore. I like the IEP meeting with all four of the parents being there. I kind of thought that could be realistic in a co-parenting situation that works. I felt like the Keisha and the Tiff's whole story was dragged out. I didn't like Fatima and Vic. I don't know what Vic is doing. I think Vic should be with Duda's girl. Because he's so worried about her and worrying about her getting hurt. I don't know why they never explored that. Because that seems to be where the chemistry is. It doesn't seem to be any chemistry with this Fatima.
Seem like they're forcing a narrative.
Yeah. I feel like they're forcing this trans woman, straight man storyline when the chemistry is obvious with the other girl.
Yeah, Tracy and Victor.
Yeah. Jim and her father, was that this episode or last episode?
It was this episode.
Both.
I felt like that was an honest dynamic for a single parent. And especially he comes from money, so it's a little bit different. People with money move a little different, and they're not always pushing their children to go to college, despite what we may think.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like that. What's the girl rapper? She need a girdle.
Dwayne, Keisha starting early. Hey, Keisha, I said to Dwayne, I said, that scene where Gemma and Maisha was talking in Sonny's, they got to get this actress to lose some weight.
Maisha is a pretty girl.
She's too big. I'm not
even going to say that she's too big, but I don't know why we're confused about undergarments. And it's a staple for Black women. Like, undergarments is a thing. Like, I was bought undergarments after I had my son. Like an hour after I had my son. Like, it's a thing in our community. I don't care how big she is. She's supposed to have on undergarments. I'm telling you, because the shot gave me a damn headache. Because it has so much good stuff. And then they don't do nothing with it. So Q and Sonny, and I hate that whole storyline. Because...
Do you hate that they brought him back just for that?
I don't even know why they brought Q back. He never had a conversation with Emmett.
Never. Whole storyline. Emmett got the restaurant out of swindling him and Rel.
But it wasn't just that he swindled his brother. This was their family.
Yeah, a community,
their family legacy.
Yeah, and this was something that Sonny and Q, if you remember when they had that conversation, Sonny even told Q, "What you doing around here?" Like, this was a staple in the community. And
Emmett wasn't supposed to get away with that easily.
I thought the funniest thing is how Duda, who was basically Q's right-hand man, didn't even know about Rob. I thought it it was.
Oh, and then Rob is so naive that he don't know about nothing. Emmett
That's
stole your
impossible.
family legacy. Like it just doesn't even make any sense. That whole Nuck pulling a gun out on Victor, I'm doing air quotes. Would he have done that? He know Victor working for Duda.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
none of this is believable.
And then Jake bracing up, and then Bakari coming. It was like it's like they're trying to
Didn't
force
Jake
certain
have put
parts of the
his foot on the gas?
yeah.
Oh,
It's like they're trying to force a certain storyline with it, and it's like it's not bad acting, it's bad storyline. The
so now
actors are
I
doing
guess
well.
Bakari he's not going to have a redemption story. Because if he does have a redemption story, he's getting killed.
Mm. Well,
But
basically, he getting paid to be the eyes and the ears of Duda.
yeah,
How you
but
feel that lands? How do you think that lands?
it doesn't land. It doesn't land well. But listen, I didn't hate the episode, believe it or not. Now the season is something different, but I walked away like this could have been the last episode. That's how I walked away. Like this could have been.
You know, actually, we have a comment from our supporter, support gamers. He said, "Facts. This show need to end. What is the point? A lot of characters aren't characters anymore. No offense to anyone who liked the series, but it should just add 5. Why we keep getting a renewed season? I think they wrote this season to end it. I don't think that, and even they did it with season 4. They're not writing these seasons as just free writers and with the confidence and the ability. Go ahead, Dwayne.
All right, let me rock, okay? Because I listen to y'all, so let me rock. Get through what I didn't like about the episodes real quick, and I'm going to get to why I love what they're doing, all right? First thing, the title of this episode made no sense. I Am the Blues, okay? And then the description of the episode, hear me out. It says, Emmett supports Jada. Keisha and Tiff come to resolution. Pressure mounts on Duda. Trig makes a major decision. Okay, here's my issues with the episode. One, they set it up to make it look like Darnell was going to leave Jada at the altar. If you see his facial expressions, if you saw some of the way he was moving a little bit, and they set you up with the description saying Emmett supports Jada. He always is a supporter of his mother. Like, that one, I ain't understand. Okay? So, that's a problem. Problem number 2 for me is Bakari is younger than Jake, Kevin, and Papa. They said Bakari's 16. Kevin is, I'm almost 18. I could do what I want to do once I turn 18. So it's kind of hard for me to understand that. Another thing, Darnell got a gang of kids. Where his kids was at for the wedding.
Mm.
None of his kids going to come see their father get married? Because if we think back, and this is our problem, the way they have rebooted The Chi for this season, you got to totally get out of your mind anything you saw seasons 1 through 4. Because they did a complete reboot to go in a different direction. Right? Okay. What number am I up to? Doesn't matter. Another problem I have. Emmett and Dom are partners in this thing. So he can't make a decision with Duda till he talks to Dom. But again, we got to stop thinking about what we know we've seen. Okay. Fast forward. They skipping major issues and scenes. I don't know if they were director cuts or whatever. But now all of a sudden, Nina, who wasn't on board with the girl living with them, now she all in on them being her adoptive parents. We never had that conversation. Okay? Another scene, when they was doing the yoga at the Rock, and Nina was taking shots at Keisha and Emmett's relationship. And Dre goes, if I forgave you for the way that you did me, we got to be able to forgive Emmett. But you never had that confrontation. We never saw the confrontation between Dre and Nina. They cheated us out of that. Okay. Now, things I like. Duda got to be the boogeyman. And they brought Q in to get Q. They brought Q in to get Duda back to being a boogeyman. One of the best lines in this series, Duda said in this episode, "Somebody got to be the bad guy."
The real MVP came in with a comment. Were they losing views as to why they've changed the flow of the things?
I think what it is, the real MVP. I think this is just what I think. I think Jada got a lot of pushback.
Lena.
Lena, I'm sorry. I think Lena got a lot of pushback for season 4. Like, we got on these airwaves and we killed every episode of season 4. So I think she's totally rebooting it. But in her efforts to totally reboot the series, she forgets that we watched the first 4 seasons. Now, every once in a while, they want to bring up Brandon. You know what I mean? The Dom character said Brandon ain't sugar honey iced tea, right? Then Keisha brought up Brandon. I'm telling you, I think they're going to bring Brandon back. I don't think he did. I think they're going to work something out to bring him back. That's
supporting Gamer said, show truly went left when Brandon and Reg died. Then it went to hell when Ronnie got killed. But hey, at least Keisha got a son named after him.
And listen, I understand anybody that don't like the series. For me, I see the potential of the series, and I see what they're trying to do going forward. Okay, Kevin's going to be coming of age, and his independence from his parents. He still loves Lene. He's going to be there for her. Keisha brought up a very good point that I didn't consider. With the relationship that we've seen in the first 4 seasons of Keisha and Kevin, they got a great relationship. And she's right. I think Kevin would have went to Keisha, would have gave Keisha the money. I mean, our Keisha wasn't with us with the last episode, but I did bring to light, why would Kevin give that girl all that money? Bakari, I think he's going to play a very, very major role going forward in season 6. You saw my man came in the smoky smooth. He was smooth, man.
Took the glasses off, popped his collar.
Yeah, little buddy, he getting it. I hate the German character. Girl, if you gonna go to Smokies and work, you gonna clean toilets.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
And she ain't like any of that. She went to her dad and was like, I need some money. So, okay. Another thing that bothered me, and I'm going to defer to Keisha on this because, I think I know women, but sometimes us black men get in trouble with our black women. I had a problem when this man presents to you, this is his house, this is your house, we're getting married at our new house, and the first thing you say is, you bought a house without asking me about it? Girl, stop. You just got a house out of this man.
One of the things I want to address is what Crystal said about the reboot. Crystal, one of the reason why we noticed the reboot last season, we had noticed some things, is because the Shy's actors and even Lena, they appear to be really, really close on IG. If you follow these actors, and they do a lot of stuff after each episode together. So Dwayne and myself and Keisha was like, oh, they must be all tight or whatever. This might be coming because of the Jason Mitchell scandal or whatever people want to characterize it as. We thought like, yo, the Shy must be taking a hit. And I was thinking about it today is that the Shy and other shows that we watch, they're not like the traditional shows that come on that have the 22 to 30 something episodes each week, each year. The Shy and some of the shows we watch, like the storyline lasts for whole 10 episodes. But unfortunately, they're not tied together. It's like watching the Shy. You'll be like, well, what just happened? Because I know I didn't see what I thought I just seen because just a couple episodes ago, you were going down this road. And then they do a whole switch up. Like Nina and Dre missed like 4 episodes this whole season. And you left us with Nina having sex with the brat last year. And you never even explained what happened with that whole situation. I think that and we always say it, the Brandon Mitchell character, for some reason, ever since that situation went left, they've been stumbling. And now with this,
think though,
go ahead, Keisha.
they were stumbling after Brandon, but then they really stumbled after what's his name died,
Ronnie.
Ronnie. So I think it is a transition going on in the story. But the people who've been invested in the story, we're not liking it. Like, it's some people that just watch TV and they just watch it and they miss everything. They just watching it for the shits and giggles. But when you really start to watch a show and get invested in the characters or whatever and invested in the storyline, this is why we don't like it, because nothing, it's like it's all over the place and nothing adds up. Like, I appreciated in this episode when Keisha said to Emmett, Duda killed Brandon. Because they never talk about Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Duda is the one, and even that storyline, Emmett would not get into business with Duda.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you, Duda would have had to present, some other person would have had to conduct that deal. It wouldn't have been Duda, because Emmett knows what happened to Brandon.
I think they forget
Allegedly.
that we don't understand
Allegedly.
that Emmett worked with Brandon on the truck while he
Allegedly.
was selling the sneakers.
Allegedly. Because we never
Yeah.
really saw how Brandon died.
Because we don't
Like,
even know
really.
how Brandon
We
died.
never really saw how he died.
And-
we don't
and-
know that he in that casket. Because they ain't
But
and
like
that's-
Keisha said, from one Keisha to another, ain't that why his mama shot him?
Yeah,
She said all that.
and how does she know that?
But, well,
I mean, the streets be talking, I guess. I don't know.
Talk, I guess. But listen, I think the mistake we making is looking for this season to make sense with the first 1 through 4 seasons. I told y'all very early when I saw the first episode of season 5, they rebooting this thing. And she's going forward with Trig being a major character in this. She bringing Duda back as a major character. She's going to have Bakari as a major character. And they're totally rebooting this show. Now, Amon Shumpert as an actor has really surprised me. He's really blown me away. So I think they're going to broaden his character. And I disagree a little bit with Q, because there is a role for Tiff going forward. Because you see what they're doing. They're really going to play up this co-parenting thing.
Yes.
As Black families, we could coexist for the betterment of our children. So that's why they had Keisha and Tiff come together. That's why they had Emmett talk to Rob and say that they all right, because they're trying to take that trauma out of the Black family and show that we could do this thing. And we were looking for positive Black characters on this show, and I think they have given us that with how they've expanded and made Emmett grow as a man. So I think he's going to be that positive person going forward. Again, I think Duda is better. He ain't good as Otis Perry, the good, clean cut. But we need Duda back. And I think we got it now. You know what I mean?
Couple of comments. Support Gamer said, go ahead, Dwayne.
I think the thing with Trig going forward, I think that young lady is going to wind up messing him up and breaking his heart. And I think going forward, they are laying the groundwork for you to see Trig with Tracy. I really think that's going to happen in season 6, because he's so concerned about Tracy and her movements. And that's why he told Gemma's father to release the tapes. So he's very protective of Tracy, if you see that in these last couple of episodes. So I think eventually that's the way it's going to go, because we know old girl is doing what she got to do. Even though Trig was, living a lie or whatever with the one that is Duda's niece or whatever, we see that they're going to make a connection with Trig and Tracy. So I think going forward, we got to forget everything we saw through seasons 1 and 4. We got to take what them doing and rebooting season 5 and going forward from that, because I think that's truly what the creators of this show have done.
The supporting gamer said The Chi is like your typical cartoon. Events happen, characters die, but they end up being irrelevant in the next episode and never brought up in again, and characters somehow come back with no explanation.
Yep.
He also said, what the F happened to the two cops was with Brennan trying to take down Duda. They died off screen too. I think that unfortunately, what happened with the two cops being written in the show and why they didn't come back was George Floyd.
I think
I didn't think they want to go. They didn't want to go to cop angle.
I think the reason the cop angle died is because they killed off Brandon. He was the main person that was dealing with those two cops.
But I thought the cop angle was good, especially with the lady. Bakari could be the lady cop, son. He was getting beat up in jail and all this other stuff.
Could be. That's interesting. But
they just let it go.
I think once the Brandon character was gone, it was really he was who was connected to the cops. You know what I mean?
True.
And they did they had to do a total rework. See, that Brandon character being gone, that changed the game.
That changed the game. Because he
was too connected to everybody.
Yeah.
And but listen. Then Ronnie, they could have kept the cops through Ronnie because Ronnie was the confidential informant.
The thing that was interesting about the Ronnie character is Lena Waithe did a live after Ronnie got killed and basically explained to the fans that it was time to move on with Ronnie's story. And Dwayne always says that Ronnie's story should have been he went with his boys to that other town.
Yeah, he was the hero.
He was the hero.
He had his redemption story. He should have reeled off into the sunset with his two boys and went to Gary in the end.
And what happened to Common in the mosque?
Yeah, I don't know. They got rid of that. I think I really truly believe they use Common
name recognition
to get the show off the ground. And now they just give him the executive producer title of it.
Crystal said they have to broaden. She's talking about Rob. She said they have to broaden his character because I'm sure he wants to know why Q got killed.
He already asked that question.
Again,
who killed him?
Duda wants to be good for Tracy, but why are they even together? It doesn't make sense. You know, at first,
you know why it makes sense. You know why it makes sense, and I'm gonna make the ladies mad because women love the bad boys. They don't want no good. Dude is bad, and that is very attractive to Tracy. And I'm gonna bring
Duda is not all the way bad though.
And I'm gonna bring in another show just real quick because we're gonna talk about it later. That's like all the ladies love the Lulu character. They want that edge. They want that bad guy.
Well,
and that's why they write it like
Dwayne, the real MVP just threw a wrench in all your game just now. Well, here's her next statement.
You know, I know
She said, I think that girl that's playing Trig's publicity girlfriend may pop up pregnant with Rashad's baby. And why was Rashad's real girlfriend all of a sudden want to move in together? Y'all think he's gonna tell her he slept with the bougie chick? He ain't telling her now.
He would no. He was gonna tell her. He was gonna tell her. This episode, he was gonna tell her.
He was gonna tell her.
But he
needed a place to stay.
Right. He told her, go ahead with your news first. And when she told him she wanted him to move in with her, he ain't gonna tell her now.
No.
He ain't gonna tell her now. She gonna find out. Because I think old girl gonna expose him anyway. I don't know if she gonna be pregnant or whatever, but I think she gonna expose him anyway. But I think we're done with old girl. I don't think old girl serves a purpose anymore. I think she out of here. Rosalind don't serve no purpose. That's why you ain't see
Rosalind, Dom, Papa's father.
They're all gone.
Well, Gemma's father got a job now.
But here's the thing.
Papa don't serve no purpose.
Right. But here's the thing. I don't know who mentioned it. I don't know if it was in the comments or whatever. I really think Lena and the creators flowed with this show like this was going to be the last season. I don't think they thought they was going to get a 6. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think they brought back a lot of characters. They couldn't bring Reg back. You know, they could, but think about it. They brought Q back. They brought Dom back. They had, again, they should have brought the Rail character back because he had something to do with Smokies too, you know? But we got to throw out everything that's logical.
Here go another plot twist, Dwayne, for you. Plot twist. The Shy series will end with the twist that every season takes place before season 1 and 2. Keisha gonna die. Lil Ronnie gets raised by Miss Ethel, who goes by the alias Nina. You put that in the next comment.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying I think they rebooted it, and she's going with trying to make the black family look good because a lot of us was killing her on how she was representing African American males, the family, and all that. So I think she totally rebooted this thing, man. And who knows what they expect out of season 6? You know,
Ratings, ratings for this episode and ratings for the season. You guys, if you
I'm giving
guys
this
watch,
episode an 8. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the potential of what could potentially come. But overall, as a season, I'm giving it a 5.
Mm.
I'm going middle of the road because
You know what?
my favorite episode was 3. I thought it was a banger. 5, if you know Nina and the way she writes this series, usually 5 is the episode that has the cliffhanger, and they go on from 5. And they kind of left us unfulfilled episodes 6 through 10.
a 8 and then a 5.
Yes.
I'm gonna give this episode. Honestly, I'm gonna give this episode a 9. I thought this episode was the best episode. Outside of episode 3, Dwayne, I do think 3. Now, when you look back at it, 3 was really a good episode. The theme of this season was Black love, but I think they missed the mark. So for the whole season, even though I'm giving this episode a 9, I'm gonna give this season a 5. It was average. They drugged themselves to get renewed. I thought that they wrote this season as the series finale. It just seems like this was the end of it. And if you follow the characters on IG, they seem surprised that they even got renewed. I'm guess for writers and people with jobs, I guess that would be hard not knowing what's going to come. And I know Yolanda Cross is going to be premiering another series Friday. She's dropping her new series, so that's going to be interesting. So I'm giving it a 9 and a 4. Did I say 4 or 5?
You said
5. 5. 9 and a 5. Support and Gaming gave it a 7 and a 10. What you giving a 10? You giving the season a 10?
Let me tell you, I always got to be the Debbie Downer. I'm giving the episode a 6, the season a 3. It's just like a man. I'm too old to be evaluating on potential.
Oh boy. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Shots fired. do you took my buddy out. Why you gonna compare it to a man too old to be evaluated, yo?
Shit, like, I'm too old.
Crystal, you talk about so far season 5 is 6.5. Season 5 over with, Crystal. That was the season finale.
She telling you it's a 6.5.
She telling you she says it's a 6.5.
I thought she meant so far.
Hey, Crystal, defend yourself. I understood what you meant.
Nicole,
3.5. Dwayne, what you give
Nicole gave it a 7.5.
I gave this episode an 8.
No, the overall season.
A 5. It's middle of the road, man. There's potential.
And you gave it a 5 too.
Yeah, it's potential
10,
for
13. 3 into 13. So we giving it like a 4 point something.
4 point something on average.
Support and Gamer gave the episode a 7 out of 10, and he gave the whole season a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel him on that. But listen, I don't know. Maybe because I love my people and I want my people to win. You know, I think there's potential for this to be good. Now, listen, I want people to understand, okay? And call me what you want to call me, but I'm going to say it how I feel it. I want my black people to win. I want us to be in these positions on TV. I want us to be on screens and be more than just drug dealers, murderers, pimps, and hoes. So we got to develop these characters, and I think we have a really good chance to develop these characters because when you turn on TV and no matter how you feel about it, they're going to jam the pride stuff down your throat. They're going to jam the LGBTQ down your throat. We need to keep seeing our black people in all our glory and for them to see that we have range and we could do this thing, man. Think about it. And I'm getting a little deeper. Think about it. When you look at Hollywood, when there's a black male that needs to be in a role, for years it was just Denzel. Okay. Then they had Idris doing a whole bunch of different things. Then they had, God rest his soul, rest in peace, Chad Boseman played Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, T'Challa, and all these other things.
Ernie Banks too, right?
Ernie Banks, he played everything. How you give us Chad Boseman as Thurgood Marshall? Now I digress. But I want these shows to win. I want them all to win, man. I'm about to have Q put Sarge up on the Sarge clip, okay? So I want us to win, man. I want Lena to be great. I want these young writers, because if we look at it, Lena ain't write anything this season. She did not write an episode. When you look at the credits, there was about 4, 5, 6 different writers. In my opinion, these 5, 6 different writers need to come together in meetings and develop off each other's story. Because when you got 6 different writers, that's why you have the up and down nature of the season. Because you don't have that consistency. You feel what I'm saying?
The writers' table need to get together.
They need to get together. And okay, I'm gonna give Keisha credit.
They are all over the place.
Right. Me, Keisha, and Q, we gonna sit down with the writers of the shop. We got 10 episodes to do. So Keisha, I'm gonna give you credit for episodes 1 and 3. If I'm doing 2 and 4, I need to be meeting with you so that there's some kind of continuation, cohesion. You understand what I'm saying? These episodes are all over the place, in my opinion, because they got multiple writers. Like, I don't think they're going to the table together and doing reads and all that stuff. So I think they need to. I think they need to do that.
Let me ask you guys, because we know the age of the 3 young guys, and we kind of want to foresee it. And I'm gonna ask everybody in the chat, what do everybody expect for season 6? I think it's gonna be interesting to see them talking about college.
Well, I think for season 6, Jake and Papa's friendship is going to develop to a different level. And I think Papa and Kev just ain't going to have a relationship. And let's be honest, right? Think about it. When you were going through elementary school, and you went to middle school, and you went through high school, and then you went to college, and you went to adulthood where we are now, there's some people that I was close with when I was a child that I ain't talked to in like 10, 15 years. And I mean close with as a child. But as we evolve as people and we start getting involved in life and different things, some people just fall by the wayside. And it's not any like beef or anything like that. It's just that you grow in life and you into doing different things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and so I think those things are interesting. I don't like the Gemma all of a sudden not wanting to go to college and she wants to be a manager for Maisha. I don't like how they killed, and I hate using that word, but I'm going to say it, they killed Maisha's confidence, okay? Last season, she was a boss. She was doing video shoots. She was feeling good about her music and all that, and they dulled her this year. I didn't like that at all. So I'm interested. Like, I love the scene. One of my favorite scenes this episode, and I ain't get to talk about it, and if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I love the scene between Trig and Jake when Jake made the shirts. And that was a very wholesome episode between 2 brothers, man. So I want them to explore that a little bit more. But I kind of don't think Trig, knowing the business that he was doing, knowing that he was in the streets, I don't think he would freely have Jake driving around in that Benz truck, which was Red's truck first, and then Trig got it. And so that's why old boy ran up on it, because he didn't know it was Jake in there. He thought it was Trig. But where Bakari come out of the day like Batman to save the day? That was a little weird too. So though I love the episode, I can also point out some things that I don't like. But to wrap up this whole soliloquy that I'm on, I want to see them win. I want to see them move forward and give us good entertainment. That's what I want.
Well, my hope for the future is I want to see more of the only thing that I really liked was Darnell. And I want to see Darnell and Emmett's relationship flourish. You know, like I said, I appreciated that. He didn't call him dad or daddy, but he called him pops, which I think is realistic. Jada, I want to see what Darnell and Jada, what that's gonna be since they're older now getting married. Even though they've been together for some, you know, off and on for some years, it doesn't look like they've ever lived together, which, as we all know, anybody who's lived with another person, it's a little different in the beginning. So I want to see those challenges. I think that the whole Nina and Dre and the cheating, I think that was a missed opportunity. But I don't either make them have some troubles in the water or just leave it alone. Like, I don't want to hear about it again. If Duda taking over the city and going off is going to make the season good, then that's what I want to see. You know, I did appreciate Duda when Duda was the man.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
I don't like what they did with him at the beginning of this season and all that.
and I also want to see the kids reclaim their the season. The show was about the kids
They're the main characters.
and their friendships.
Yep.
And the kids had the least to do with the soap opera. It was like a soap opera that the kids wasn't on. I want to see more Papa. I want to see more Papa's transition. I want to see all the kids transition from being young kids to adults. They touched a little bit on it with Jake and Gemma and the pregnancy or what have you, but now they should be coming to the 18, to the graduate in high school, to the really, what am I doing with myself and what am I doing with my life?
I agree with
think
you.
they should play up more that Jake is artsy. Why did y'all even have him try out for basketball? Like, none of these kids is athletic, and that's okay for Black boys to not be athletic.
Right. And it's time to retire Papa's pulpit. It doesn't serve it doesn't move you. It doesn't serve a purpose.
Because first of all, I don't think Papa's pulpit is realistic.
Right.
And I think that they're doing a crappy job of Papa and his church kid. You know, I'm not a church kid, but I know a lot of them.
They should explore more how Papa feels about the movements of his father, because he always looked up to his father.
So a lot of church kids be knowing the Bible and the songs backwards and forwards, and it comes a point in your life where you do start questioning, because you're saying what you're saying ain't adding up to what you're doing.
Right.
That would have been a more realistic. And see, Papa, a lot of church kids is a little bit different out in the street than what they are at home.
Yes, they are.
They don't show that part either. Like, he smoke his little weed, but he still, it's like Papa don't like rap music. Like, Papa ain't into the same stuff that they into. I don't know. I don't want to see that, because that's not really realistic. So if she really does listen to her fans, going into the next season, I wanted to get back to what made us love the Chi, and that was the relationships and the family and these kids. And
Get back to the essence. Get back to the essence.
I think that I agree with both of y'all on what we should expect. I do just got one request, and I know that, you know, she's not listening to our show, and I just hope that I could throw it out there in the atmosphere, as they say, is to tighten up on all these storylines. I think having these storylines is allowing people like us who review the show and we're really critical of the show, having all these storylines all over the place. Like, Papa always messed with Jake about not having no parents, but where's Papa's mother? Like, they never went down that avenue. I think they have where's Gemma's mother? I think that some of those bonds that got those kids.
On Gemma's mother. Didn't they touch on her no longer being alive? I thought they. I
don't remember offhand, but I think they got a bunch. They have a bunch of good stuff in the show, or stuff that could be really, really good, and they don't explore it because they go so far left somewhere else that it makes no sense. It would be nice to come back and see Jake working on his clothes at the Rock, because Chicago's an artsy city. Why he thinking about going to art school to do his clothes? I think the show has a bunch of potential where it could go. I just hope that they don't write it like like it just comes off as like they're writing it. They wrote this season as the last season, so that's all I got. I mean, I ain't really got much else. We always say we don't know if we're gonna be able to do next year, but God willing, I guess we'll be back next season to do it, fellas. Yeah, fella Dwayne and Keisha.
I don't call Keisha no fella, man. What the fuck? Flustered. But listen, man, I appreciate the two of you. I appreciate your perspective on things, and I look forward to future shows, reviewing this show, The Chi, and any other future shows that we will review. And I may be out on one of our review shows, but more on that later.
So for everybody in the chat, we'll be back in about 15 minutes to review Raising Kanan episode 4. He's here, and we appreciate you guys joining us this season as y'all went with us through this journey of reviewing The Chi season 5. And those that don't watch all of our review shows, that just watch The Chi, we'll see you next season. We appreciate your support, and know that the chat, you guys help make our show, because you guys' comments sometimes is our thoughts. So just be patient with us, and we'll be back. We not teasing Kanan. I just can't. But we'll discuss that in our next review show in about 15 minutes.
Join us next.
Appreciate you guys for joining us this season with season 5 of The Chi. Until next time, y'all take it easy and enjoy.
Good night.